Previously on AFTN.
Derek Cornelius seems like a really good sign for the Whitecaps. Steve got a chance to chat to him today in his hotel room. So let's bring you
Steve,
that now.
I was at home. It was over the phone.
Yeah, you're shattering the illusion. Here's Derek Cornelius. Hey, and welcome to another episode of There's Still Time, the AFTN Soccer Show, broadcasting on CITR Radio 101.9 FM from the unceded Musqueam Territory at the University of beautiful British Columbia. If you listen to this show on the podcast, this is episode 320. I'm Michael McCall.
I'm Steve Pander.
And I'm Zachary Adam Eisenhammer.
And this episode of the AFTN Soccer Show is recorded in front of a live studio audience.
The ballet has...
Yeah, and the dances are back. Yeah. This tap dancing that they're doing this week.
Are you sure that's what that was?
Well, when I opened the door, I heard tap dancing. So I tried that once. Fell in the sink and broke my leg. Anyway, busy week. What you guys been up to? Anything exciting before we get into the full thing? Steve and me staying off Twitter for the duration of tonight's show.
Yeah, not taking any live tweets today.
No, the Royal Rumble did not finish by the time we left the house.
Oh, is that why I got here before?
Yes. I'd made it up to entrant 18.
Oh, okay.
Steve had only made it up to entrant 5.
Okay. Oh, because
he has no idea what the ring
I do. No. We got the guys keep coming in the ring, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I remember that.
Women come in it now as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the women's one.
I was, I remember that from when I was a child, yeah.
Oh, you always refer back to wrestling as childhood stuff.
Yeah, that's
and
what
you
it was
play with Lego.
That's what it was for me, yeah. I'm an adult fan of Lego.
So it got me thinking, if the three of us entered the Rumble,
oh no,
which one of us do you think would last the longest? Some of you all kind of entered like 1, 2, and 3.
Who would last
Who'd last the longest?
Steve? I think Steve.
He'd be hard to get out the ring. I think that might be...
But he's also, he's strong. I think he might be stronger than you and I.
Oh, yeah. I would do the kind of hiding under the ring thing that I like to do.
Oh, I could see you, hurting people in ways you're, not supposed to, probably, in wrestling.
Like emotionally?
That too.
Verbally?
That too. Verbally, yeah, absolutely.
Just like the show then. I'm sure we'll come to that.
No, but like the cheap shots or hitting the below with the belt or whatever. I don't think they call it.
Or just do some chants.
Yeah.
Or you'd have the chair. You'd have the chair. Do they still do the chair?
Oh, yes, they do lots of stuff.
Yeah.
We don't have any chant talk this week, although we did find out that Mr. Whitecaps, his favourite chant, I was shocked, absolutely shocked. But we'll move on from that.
Wait, you're not going to sing it?
No.
Okay, good. Actually, it's good. You should sing.
But busy weekend for me. Steve and me took in a VMSL game on Friday night, and it was an absolute cracker.
It was a good, entertaining game.
Really good. A lot of guys in that. You could see in the CPL this coming season. I shipped my wife off for the weekend, so I could have a weekend of football and wrestling. So
Is
Saturday... No, it's not back to Monday. I'm picking her up on the way to training. So she'll be at training on Monday.
Oh, okay.
That'll be exciting for her. But Saturday, back-to-back FA Cup games. Stayed off Twitter as much as I could so I didn't get any spoilers. And what a win for AFC Wimbledon. 4-2 over my other childhood team, West Ham. I thought, will I have any torn sort of allegiances? None whatsoever. So, rocking my new AFC Wimbledon top that I got in the sale just before Christmas, or just after Christmas.
Oh, it's this year's?
Yeah.
Oh, it's
I have never watched a game where a team has been 3 goals up and been more shit in my pants than that last half hour of that game. It was just... You just thought West Ham were going to score every single time they had the ball. But great stuff. We're going to have more FA Cup talk, NBC Soccer Web headlines. But we're going to kick things off with Whitecaps chat. And wow, what a busy week. We kind of complained a little bit that there hadn't been too much to talk about. We still managed to fill 2 hours worth of talk, but now I'm thinking we might struggle to get all this fitted into the 2 hours in tonight's show. So we'll see. We've got some interviews that we did this week that we're going to keep over for the next couple of weeks. So we had promised Nick Dazovic in tonight's show. We've bumped him. He's going to be in next week's show.
He is not going to be impressed.
It was a good interview.
It was very good.
It was a very long interview, which is why he's now bumped into next week's show.
Did you edit it a little bit?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, it's going in totally unedited.
No, I didn't mean... I meant like questions, maybe putting them in different spots.
No, not at all. But, yeah, Whitecaps were back at it. It's the first week of pre-season training. In the books now. You took in a couple of sessions, although the first one wasn't on the training pitch. The three of us were there on Friday, so that was entertaining stuff. Tell us about some of the stuff that you saw this week. Anything really stand out or catch your eye?
On the pitch itself?
Yeah,
or
just in general.
I would say that the intensity that was already showing in the first week on the training pitch on Friday. We seemed to really get people going, give them a little break, and then get going again.
Day one, it was intense. Day one on the pitch on Tuesday, his sessions, he said he likes 70 to 80 minute sessions, just hard going, start to finish. That showed the intensity was there, the focus, organisation. Players seem to be loving it as well right now, which is good. He's certainly going to be pushing them hard.
Yeah.
And I think that's good. I think this is what the club's needed.
I was there Monday and Friday, so very different experiences. Monday, it felt like most players were in mid-season form in terms of their engagement with the media.
Yes.
So everything was kind of normal though. MDS, yeah, you enjoy when it's fun listening to a new voice, a new perspective. I think the media was kind of enjoying that. Friday on the pitch, I think, I agree with you guys. The intensity level, the intent was good. Perhaps on the downside, and we know it's going to be added to, but it was kind of sparse because not only were the new guys who had already been signed not there, there was guys signed that day. And there was guys who are in camp who weren't even a part of that session. They were either injured or they were off doing other things or whatever.
And a lot of development guys as well.
So it was kind of
against the first team.
It was kind of sparse. The other highlight, of course, was Jordi Reyna's goal.
Yes, which you missed. That's going to be AFTN's goal of the season.
There was bicycle, right? You said
gets the ball, flicks it over Thomas Hassel in goals, back to the goal, bicycle kick in.
Yeah.
If he can do that against the defence, that'd be awesome.
We should ask Mr. Whitecaps if we get the video of that.
Oh, yeah, because they've been filming it, yeah.
They should put it out.
Yeah.
They put out that Jordan Smith goal. Surely they can put out...
Jordan Smith scored?
Remember way back when he was in training?
No.
He just arrived.
I've kind of blocked him really out of my memory.
It was from distance on the right side.
He was best seen from distance.
There was cameras. There was a camera. I don't know if it was turned on, but there was a camera.
I'm pretty sure it'd be turned on.
Oh, yeah, they were
filming having a camera if it wasn't turned on. Mark DeSantos he's going to be a good quote this year. You're already getting that from his early interviews. Monday in particular, a lot of good stuff that he was kind of bringing out there. There was the Zara quote.
Oh yeah, which is a callback here because didn't Robbo talk about Zara's?
Zara got his tops in Zara. He was asked where he got them from.
So some continuity where the coaches shop.
Mark said it was like going to Zara, seeing a pair of jeans at $50 and deciding to pass, which I would as well. Because nothing wrong, $5 Walmart in the States jeans. These have lasted me a couple of years now.
Didn't all the media laugh because they're like, how can you get jeans for $50 now?
Yeah, but some of them drive a Porsche. As we know, when their car got almost towed away.
That was so great.
That was one of the things that we've learned from training this week.
Did you
Don't park in the 5-minute parking zones at UBC.
I just love the valet parking that they got. Those meetings.
Oh, it's fantastic. Yeah. I had never offered that before, but I thought that was great.
Yeah.
He gave the quote as well. Anthony Blondell was going to hate him.
Oh, yeah.
So much so that 6 days later he's on a plane to Chile. But we'll come to that in a later part. I liked his reply to the question about designated players. What do you mean by designated player? So I'm trying to be respectful here. Missing out the following words off, but that's an absolutely stupid question you've just asked me. We're all thinking it.
He had that quote on Extra Time Radio as well. about
cooking.
Yeah, the cooking.
Yep.
You don't smell. Your guys are in the living room. You're not seeing what's being cooked.
Big fan of
you
the
can
raw.
smell it, but you don't know.
Big fan of the raw.
Mr. Whitecaps was enjoying the aroma on Friday, remember?
He was, yes. They've been working this week on a lot of things, in particular how they want to be without the ball. A lot of high pressing as well. Some attacking drills we saw. One of which, according to, this is another great Mark DeSantos quote, if the Whitecaps can get this drill right, other teams will shit their pants.
Right.
Second mention of shitting the pants in the first 10 minutes of the show. That could be the name of this week's episode.
There you go. The one drill I like, which I don't know if I've ever seen before, very simple, nothing like not rocket science or whatever, but the drill they did where they were working at space and movement, where there was two teams, the two color bibs on the same pitch, and they each had their own ball that they needed to pass and move.
Yeah, they're not allowed that in the game though.
No,
he's asked,
I know,
but no.
But it was just interesting to see them work their movement and be cognizant of space and an opponent who's
Yeah.
they're not pressuring you, but it was just a space and shape kind of thing, which was interesting.
Talking about the high press, I just want to go back to one more quote he gave this week on mainstream radio. He basically said that they asked him, will you be telling them when to press, or will they identify? And he goes, well, it's not a PlayStation. I can't press a button.
Yes.
I wish I could push the button and they press, but no, they have to figure it out for themselves.
I'm not good at those games anyway.
Finally, we just got FIFA 19 for Christmas, so we finally opened it up.
Oh, I've been playing FIFA 94.
Oh, that's a good one. Oh, yeah, on your game. Yeah.
Yes, on my new game station.
There are so many more buttons to press now.
Too many.
Yeah.
Theo Baer looked like he'd been having a few buttons pressed. He was excellent this week.
Didn't even recognize him.
He has grown.
He's huge.
I was speaking to him on Tuesday when they're doing the headshots and he's getting his photo taken. I was like, dude, have you grown? And he's like, yeah. His feet are still growing. He says he's a size 13 just now, but they're still growing.
And breaking news, Zach has accepted him as a striker now.
Theo Baer, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Do we need any more?
Well, he was joking with me because I said to him, oh, it's between you and Anthony right now for the starting spot. Now it's just Theo. So, yeah, we're looking good.
They don't need to get another one. They got all these midfielders and wingers. They'll be fine. They'll be
just
fine.
need the one. Some new players were confirmed. Some more are expected very soon. We're going to cover them in parts 2 and 3. I think the best way, though, for us to kind of do the show tonight, we're going to be very fluid. We're going to go through the team from the back line, starting in goal, working our way up front. Kind of feels that's how we've maybe been building the team in the last couple of weeks. So, talked about it last week. One of the things I'm looking forward to seeing in training camp is the battle for the number one goalkeeper spot. Zach McMath, Maxime Crepeau. To me, I know McMath has got the experience in MLS. I do feel they're coming into this camp on a pretty much level playing field.
You could see the hunger from Maxime. It is a battle. I think if Zach McMath is or was complacent coming into this, I think this week was hopefully a good, not wake up call, but a reminder that this is a battle.
The thing is with Zach McMath, I was looking at his stats and everything, and he had pretty decent stats in Philadelphia.
Yes,
for a really bad team. He's actually I don't know, like I can't tell you like how good that team is with when Zach was in and when Andre Blake came in, but he's got better stats than Andre Blake through their first few seasons. And then when in Colorado, I think he has better stats than Tim Howard even.
The thing is, though, Steven, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. This is just my memory, and it's not always the best. But I always thought the knock on him was not his stats or some of those programs. It was every so often he would, maybe not howler is not the right word, but he would make an error.
Yeah.
That would cost them.
But he was a young keeper at the time.
So did David Ousted.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, we can all think of things that he did wrong.
But that's one of the reasons why I think Philadelphia got Blake, and one of the reasons why they...
That's what goalkeepers
do.
But
I've seen Blake have some howlers too in his first couple of years.
Look at Tim Howard, who's then brought in. He's known for his howlers as well. It's just what happens.
David Osted's on fire now.
Yes, literally. Or at least on their squad. It's two young, hungry, fierce goalkeepers. Both of them here with the sole purpose that they want to be starters in MLS. Now, it is too early to give anyone the jump. People have talked, as I said, about McMath. He had the experience in MLS. He was with Philly, as Steve said, 4 years in Colorado. Only made 31 appearances, though, in those 4 years. 3 in his first year, then 17, then 9, then 2. So he hasn't been playing regularly.
The 3 was when Clint Irwin was there. I think he came maybe mid-season. I can't remember what it was. At 17, well, he played the first half of the season. Then Tim Howard came in at the June, July. And then after that, it was just whenever Tim Howard would cross the line, and that's when Zach Matthew
I knew you were going to say that.
had to.
Crepeau's had 3 MLS starts. Folk might not know that because they think, he's just been a beekeeper. But he has played 3 games for Montreal.
Yeah.
He's played 4 games in the V Cup for Montreal. He's also played a whole season in the USL with Ottawa Fury and Canadian Championship with them as well.
Keeper of the year.
And goalkeeper of the year against some really strong contenders, especially out in Cincinnati. So he's been playing a full season, whereas McMath's a little bit cold.
A little cold, but has more experience in MLS.
Yes.
So that's the thing. Which one's going to be more effective for who?
But I think experience and all that, they're obviously different histories, but they come in a preseason kind of on level.
Oh, I know, but that's the thing.
With.
Each has positive and negative. He had a lot of games in USL.
Yeah,
he didn't have very many games, but he was at the MLS level. So that's going to be where you're going to figure out which is better for who.
But like you said, it's too early to tell.
Oh, for sure.
I got a chance to catch up with Max this week. Spoke to him on Tuesday. Going to play that interview for you now, just asking about his journey to Vancouver, his hopes for the season. There's a really annoying buzz in the thing as well, because we had to do the interview out in the corridor. And Andy Rose goes to the toilet halfway through it as well, so listen out for that. But here is new Whitecaps goalkeeper, Maxime Crepeau. So Maxime, in Vancouver, did you ever think you were going to leave Montreal? You were there since 2010. Does it feel weird to be away from there now?
No, I turned the page when I asked to leave 2 years. Well, last year, and I went on loan to Ottawa. But I knew that the project of Montreal, I was on the sideline and I wasn't a part of the plan anymore, and I knew that, so I decided to ask for a trade at that time. They sent me on loan, and then I'm super happy to be here to start this new page, this new philosophy, this new structure of the Whitecaps. And to be part of it is great as well, because the staff targeted, all the players that are here have the potential and the quality to make something good.
But we've seen it before with goalkeepers, you just need a chance to play, and it's like we've had a number of goalkeepers in the years here in Vancouver, and they've had to move on to get minutes. Last year in Ottawa seemed to be your big breakout season for you. Mm-hmm. What was it that just kind of brought you to the best of your game? Was it just getting this regular minutes?
I think there's no secrets. It's about getting your momentum. After 1, 2, 3 games, you're more and more comfortable, and then right away the automatics with your teammates as well. So as soon as you get rhythm, you have no fear. You have confidence in yourself, and as soon as you have confidence and there's no doubt in your mind, you just go with it, you go with the flow. It's really easier to go with it, and to be fair, it was more the opportunity to play, to have the confidence of the club to put me there last year. And to be fair, I really enjoyed myself at the end of the day, because this is why we all started to play this game, is to enjoy it. And I had really a lot of fun last year by playing, but most importantly, I think it's minutes, momentum, rhythm, and then the confidence is getting up, and since then there's no limits after that.
Youssef, obviously you've known him for a long time, and then last year he was with you when you had your USL Goalie of the Year season. Mm-hmm. Here now with you, is that something that you like, that you've got the same goalkeeping coach, you've got a guy that knows you? You talked a little bit about it on Monday, but what is it about him that's kind of brought the best out of your game, do you feel?
For real, Youssef has been tremendous about preparing his goalkeepers within all across the roster, number 1 to number 4 goalkeeper in the club. He will prepare them and will make sure that everyone gets the right attention training-wise, and the attention to details. So their number 1 is going to be ready for the weekend, while number 2 will be ready for the weekend as well, but we'll get a little bit more reps, and then the third will work really hard and try to get minutes as well with either the second team or the fourth as well will be in the same basket as them. But it's more about preparing every day, like today, Monday, we prepared the whole body. It was more about physically balance and all that stuff. Tomorrow we'll work harder. We'll see crossing. It's about covering everything that we'll see during the game, during the week. And once the whistle blown, you're ready. Because you've seen everything during the week and at the high intensity as well. With some games we receive maybe 1-2 shots on target, and then you have a lot of footwork, and then there's some of the crossing as well. But you've seen everything because the level and the intensity in the training was great.
Now, you're coming to a club where the starting goalkeeper's moved on. Sometimes you can come to a new club and you're already battling with the number one, but this feels like it's a level playing field. Both of you have a chance to be this number one. Having something like that pushing you, it's obviously you're going to get on well with Zach and Sean as well, but you want this number one position. For you in pre-season, what do you feel you have to show to grab that number one spot?
I think I just have to be myself. Don't complicate things as well, because few players at any sports, they try to do over. They try to do too much to prove themselves, but I have to stick to my personality, my game, which is I have to do the simple things the right way, to be clean, you know what I mean, and to deliver the message to my player that behind, hey, boys, it's solid, so if the ball comes to my end, don't worry, boys, I'll have your back, you know what I mean? So to transfer that confidence to the players up in front of me, there's no prices to that. As soon as you know that the behind it's solid, well, it's open-minded to go forward every time because you know it's solid in the back. And to be fair, I just want to prove myself, to prove to the staff as well, to the club, to the city, to the fans that even if I've never been in number one in MLS so far, I can do it, and I'm there at my state of my career.
And you have played MLS games, so I mean, it's not that you're new to the league.
Exactly.
What did you find, like those games you played, did you find there was much of a difference in the level of play as to what you'd been used to in, say, USL?
Yeah, definitely. It's my 7th year. It's funny to say, but it's my 7th year. I played 4 MLS games plus 3 MLS games, 4 Canada Cup games with Montreal, and then in Ottawa, 35 games plus 4 in the Canadian Cup, so a lot of games. But, the most important thing about that is being yourself, to be fair with you. It's really coming up to yourself, focus on what you can control, and after that, delivery to the boys up front, yeah.
And you're coming into a squad where you know a lot of the guys. You've played with them for Canada. You've been in Canadian camps at under 23 at senior team level. From a case of like hitting the ground running, I mean, does it feel like that already? It's early days in training, but does it feel the familiarity's there with them?
Yeah, definitely feel comfortable right away with the guys. I've known a few guys before that I've played against or with, and to come back a little bit on the last question as well, the pace, the thinking, the reaction time, everything is quicker. The decision making is a big part of the game nowadays. Plus, with the new system, you have to be really focus in right away, because if you skip a beat, well, it's gonna appear and you're gonna pay cash. So, to be fair, we have a great group as well, and we saw it today, quality, and now it's about getting the information from the outside of how we want to play with and without the ball, defensively, offensively.
Gold Cup here. Mm-hmm. You've been involved with the senior team. Mm-hmm. Goalkeeping position is pretty strong with Canada just now. What's your hopes in regard to that for this year?
Milan, I've talked to the staff of the national team as well, and we all know that Milan has established itself club and national team wise as the number one. After that, as a number two, we have 2 or 3 guys that can play that role. I'm included in this, and it's always a competition in training. There's not one label, number 1, number 2, number 3. It's really 3 goalkeepers ready to go. But it's true that it's been great in training and in games as well to see Milan performing, learning about themselves as well on game day situation. And about that, it's more about pushing the group up. If we have a healthy goalkeeper unit, well, the team will be healthy, that's for sure. So it's going to be exciting because there's a new generation with the national team, and we're coming on strong.
That's great. Thanks so much, and good luck this season. Look forward to seeing you. Thanks.
Big thing! Big thing!
Max Crepeau there. Will anyone beat him to the number 1 spot? That's what we'll find out in the coming weeks. I think you also can't discount the existing relationship he's got with the Caps' new goalkeeping coach.
That's for sure, yeah.
Who seems a real character, and we really want to get him on the show and have a sit down with him. But he's as we talked about there, he brought him out of his best season in the USL. He's known him from the Impact Academy days as well. So I think that gives him a bit of a leg up.
But the same goalkeeper coach, I'm sure, recommended Zach McMath as somebody that the Whitecaps would do. So you got to, even though he didn't have a personal relationship, he's definitely on board with Zach McMath, or else they wouldn't have brought him either.
And Sean Melvin's obviously in the mix as well, but you have to feel it's going to be one of those two. Nice to see Thomas Hassel as well in training camp this week. A lot of things happening in the defence, and we're going to talk more about the defence and the people that's going to be in front of Maxime Crepeau or Zach McMath after this.
Hi, I'm Mark Dos Santos, and you're listening to the AFTN Soccer Show.
Meet the gang, 'cause the boys are here, the boys to entertain you. With music and laughter to help you on your way, to raising the rafters with a hey, hey, hey. The songs and sketches and jokes are new. With us about, you won't feel blue. So meet the gang, 'cause the boys are here, the boys to entertain you. We are here to make you feel gay, so give us a cheer with a hey, hey, hey. Just gather around and put down your gun. With us about, there's plenty of fun. So meet the gang, 'cause the boys are here, the boys to entertain you. B-O-B-O-Y-S, boys to entertain you.
That's our live studio audience I was talking about. That was the theme tune to 1970s sitcom It Ain't Half Hot Mum.
Is there a bad story about why it doesn't exist anymore?
No, but there is a
'Cause
bad story as to why we're playing it.
I'm assuming everybody's dead if it's from the 50s.
One of the main
70s?
actors in it,
Yeah, why not?
Windsor Davies, died this week. Another one taken far too early. He was 88. But that was a show from my childhood I used to watch. It was set in India, so you'd have liked it, Steve.
Yeah.
There was only one Indian character in it, but it was actually a white guy with brown face.
That totally
so maybe
makes
that was
sense.
why it was taken
Yeah,
off,
that
actually.
totally
Yeah.
You can't do that.
No. But like Windsor Davies, he played a sergeant major. It's set about, it's during, I think it was, I'm not sure what war it was, after the Second World War anyway. So this was a troop that went to entertain the troops. So it was like they would like put on shows and skits and stuff like that. So he was a sergeant major, and he had two catchphrases. One was "lovely boy," and one I won't say on the show because we may get taken off air. But he was in a number of sitcoms as I was growing up as well.
Different times.
It was different times.
Different times.
That's what I'm thinking
Obviously.
about calling our second YouTube show, now that I've got an idea
Different
for
times?
two of them. Different times.
Oh.
Is that better for you than pulled off at half time?
It's definitely a better title.
How about pulled off at different times?
Oh, we can combine them.
Oh man, I would be worried about the content of the different times.
Different times.
show.
Just get a T-shirt that says different times.
Well, we demonetized every time we put a video up on YouTube.
Anyway, you're back listening to the AFTN Soccer Show on CITR Radio 101.9 FM. We're going to talk about some more about the Whitecaps' defence in this part. We were kind of joking on Monday that players might need to kind of wear little things saying, "Hi, my name is," just so everyone knew who was who. But at least in the defence, most of them all know each other, either from playing on the team last year or Canadian national team.
Yeah.
I think most of us, if not all of us, but most of us felt that the defence needed revamped this off-season. We've talked before, it wasn't just the defence. Midfield as well kind of let them down. As things currently stand, we've got a new goalkeeper no matter what. It's going to be a new centre-back.
I saw a
no
guy.
matter
I
what.
saw a guy on social media today moaning about we don't have a keeper.
Really?
Sorry, it's crazy. But
Well, I mean, you did have a Van City Buzz article, which, all respect to her who wrote it, she didn't do this headline and she was asked to do this. She was asked that this was the theme she had to explore. But But their headline was, "It's time running out for the Whitecaps to sign players."
Yeah.
No, because the transfer window doesn't open till the middle of February.
Yeah,
for
I
one
saw that
thing.
too. Yeah, that. Oh, she obviously had nothing to do with
No.
because
She has to write what they ask her to write.
if you read the actual article, it's not that as dire as the headline. No.
Yeah, and she didn't do the headline. But come on, it's like wait till at least the transfer window opens.
Besides, as we've been talking about this evening, there's still time.
There is.
I like obviously JJ Adams, friend of the show.
Oh, yeah.
Every time he tweets out an article he wrote, he goes, "I didn't write the headline." Every single time.
Well, because they had something similar like that, didn't they? The province.
I
there was
don't
some.
remember.
Yeah.
Oh no, it was about one of the future signs.
I love
we were
that
talking about.
JJ didn't want to be on Twitter. Now he never seems off the Twitter.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
told him this was going to happen, which is why he didn't want to go on it to begin with.
He's addicted. He's
Yeah.
hooked.
He's just got memes coming out every second tweet.
Oh, we nearly had our own meme of Nick
Oh.
Dadovich.
Oh, that's so close.
So close to getting that photo.
somebody
Can
was
we
slow.
talk about it?
We'll talk about that later.
Okay.
So back to the defence. As things stand, new goalkeeper, new centre-back, but Jake Nerwinski, Brett Levis look to be the two full-backs, with Doneil Henry as the centre-back,
Well,
as things probably stand.
I'd say Levi's has some competition.
He does.
Yeah, because PC is right behind him.
And we know Vancouver is a very PC-friendly
Yeah.
thing. That's all the complaints we get about the show. But if that is the case for the four back line, that's not a lot of change.
No.
Any concerns around that? Or do you feel like a new centre-back, a new goalkeeper is enough to turn this around?
No,
along with the midfield in front of them?
I think it's the midfield that's going to be the big difference if they are able to work the ball around better and protect the back line.
Well, the huge factor in this is the fact that the style of play is changing.
Yes.
Style of play and formation are going to be changing from everything that that has been said. So I think that's going to be the biggest influence.
Yeah.
But I think it would be a valid point for people to say I'm a little concerned that there isn't more new life into the back line. But there are going to be more players coming in. I think there's some that are unconfirmed. But yeah. There's lots of good rumors or whatever.
Some defenders, some more. We'll look at those in part 3.
Right. I think there's lots of right backs who want to come and play their trade.
Well, there's one really, really keen right back that wants to come. He's maybe overdone his exuberance a little bit, or rather his agent has.
Well, not his fault.
No. But one of the key staples of the Whitecaps team and defence is going to be Doneil Henry.
One of your favourites.
He's only 25. He has been a pro since 2010, though, so he is a veteran. He's going to have to take on more of a leadership role this year. Do you feel he's up to that task?
I do. I really like Doneil. And I got to say, and I know this is going to sound AFTN cliche, but this is one of my favorite interviews coming up.
Just because of the one line in it.
Hey, one line can make an interview.
Yeah. We weren't going to speak to Doneil on Monday, but Zach asked for him. So then we did an interview, and then JJ hung around and Har hung around just to listen to it as well. So let's bring you that for you now. There's a fantastic line in this.
Yeah.
So Doneil, back to training. How's it feeling to be back?
Yeah, it's good. Busy day today. Just kind of doing all this stuff, but I'm more looking forward to tomorrow when we get on the pitch. So seeing some of my teammates, it's like the first day of school. But no, I'm over it. I just want to get on the pitch.
It's a lot of new faces, a lot of changes. A lot of guys that you're going to know as well that's come into the team and might be coming into the team. From a way of hitting the ground running, it must be good. You've played with Derek Cornelius for the national team. What's that relationship that you've got him on the playing side?
Good player, honestly. A lot of his attributes, it was like a younger me. Really humble, ready to work. His situation is a little bit different from the rest of the national team boys, whereas most of us came through the academy system, and he's been playing in Serbia. Not a lot of exposure. It'd be really good for him to get over here, kind of be around me, myself, and a lot of the other national team boys are here in Vancouver. So, no, I think it's a really good move for him. I'm really looking forward to see what he does. I think the Vancouver fans will be really pleased to see what he can bring to the table. With the national team, I played with him one game, and he has his head on his shoulders. He'll be all right.
2 games, right?
He's played. Have I played two games with him?
2 clean sheets.
Ah, that's right. Oh, yeah, St. Kitts too. Yeah. Yeah.
So you guys are really close then?
Yeah, what John has implemented so far in the national team with me even being back, and what he expects. It's a bunch of guys playing together for the first time in a lot of positions. he's a young center half, and he has all the tools to be really great. And me being a little bit more of an experienced one, I can just help him along the way. That's what I wish that I had when I was growing up and coming through the youth levels and even in Europe, that I had a older center back that wanted to actually see me do well and kind of put me on their shoulder and taught me the ropes.
Looking at the squad just now, does it feel weird for you that you're basically a veteran on this team now?
No, I am a vet regardless of what you guys say, because this is my 8th season as a professional. I've been around the block, I understand it. Now I want to put all the injury wounds behind me and then really show you guys what I can do.
In your 8 years as a pro, have you been part of a rebuild of this scale?
Yeah, I played for Toronto FC. Shot at the Reds, not a shot, it's the reality of it, you know? Yeah.
Oh, that was so good. What did your off season look like in terms of staying in shape or getting ready for the season? What does that look like for?
I spent a lot of my time in Vancouver actually. I stayed here waiting for national team camp to start back up. So I stayed in training with the development boys, and then went to Toronto for 4 weeks. Spent a week in Mexico, and then came back here. Did a lot of workouts. Just kind of strength stuff and just making sure that my knee's solid and everything is kind of even itself out. Now I just want to get running, get the cardio, and get my lungs feeling that capacity again. And no, I'm really looking forward to what Mark will bring to this team.
Mark's talked about he wants the centre backs to be aggressive. Mm-hmm. He told us he would like them to be at the halfway line and be able to track back and get forward. Do you feel that suits your style of play perfectly?
Yeah, I'm fast enough. Derek is fast enough. Brendan, he looks like a good player. It'd be really interesting because whatever the coach wants, we're gonna buy into it because he's the leader of this club. And if you want to play, there's certain things that we're gonna have to come out of our comfort zone. So I'm sure everybody's looking up for it, and I can't wait to get started.
Doneil is a veteran. If you were asked, would you be comfortable being the skipper on this team?
Yeah, I've done it as a youth player, right? I feel like I'm respected by a lot of my teammates. But it's not something I'm going to ask for, you know what I mean? If it's brought to me, sure, but I'm not going to ask for it. I feel like I'm respected regardless in my team.
Does it feel weird going into training camp and there's a lot of key pieces still not here?
Yes and no. It's a different preseason, but there are players here who can really make a difference. Really looking forward to see Simon and Theo and Baldissimo, a lot of the younger guys who haven't really got an opportunity. Really good young players, also Canadian, playing with the Canadian U20s and U whatever levels. But no, I think that we have a lot of players here already that should be like the core of this team. A few pieces when they come will definitely help us.
When you look at the Canadians that's been out of the squad and the ones that's here already, obviously a big chunk of that is the defensive unit or the defensive squad for the Canadian national team. Now, I know it doesn't concern you too much. You'll be away at the Gold Cup, hopefully, but then it leaves a big hole here in Vancouver if there's maybe 5-6 players away with Canada. Do you think that could be an issue in the summer?
I'm not even there for thinking it. Right now I'm in preseason. When it gets to that time, we'll always figure it out.
I always like to think ahead.
That was Doneil Henry. You obviously you can't see it because this is a radio show / podcast, but the look in his face when JJ asked him that question was just like, it was so hilarious. Like, it was hilarious. Yeah. It was, if Jordy has the goal of the preseason so far, that to me was the response of the.
With TFC during all their bad years, he leaves and then they win a championship.
I knew you were
just going to leave it at that.
I knew you were going to say that.
I'm still not sure about him as being a main starter for us. Like a regular number one guy week in, week out.
I don't think he should be a number one guy. I still
right
think
now he is.
Yeah, right now. But I think the Whitecaps need to bring in one more center back, whether it's now or in the summer.
But okay, so what number is he for you guys? Because are you saying
for
he's
me,
below Derek?
No,
no.
From what we've got just now, he's number one.
Yeah,
okay.
But
I would like him as number 3.
Eventually, I like him. No, I like him to be number 2. With Derek and the new guy possibly being 3 and 4.
But we still need, no matter what, 3 more centre-backs because we only have 2 officially signed, although we basically have 3 now.
Yeah.
Because...
If the reports are true.
Well, his club's already...
Wished him well?
It, yeah.
Didn't they put out a picture where it was half the Whitecaps? Yeah, half
So
strip.
Tunisian centre-back, Jasser Kamiri.
Colin Elm's not going to like that.
Does he not like Tunisians?
No, he doesn't like people talking about their own players after they leave.
He's confirmed that he's heading to Vancouver. His former club, Stade Tunisien, bid farewell to him in the stadium and did a tweet and everything wishing him well with a graphic of the half and half strip. So he's definitely coming here. We briefly talked about him last week, so we'll go into a little bit more detail. If you Google him, it's very interesting what you find about him. Not a lot.
No, he's very new on the scene, essentially.
He's 21-year-old, right-footed centre-back. He's under contract until June 2021, according to Transfer Market. So a fee is going to have to be paid unless this is another loan deal. Take a look at
Or
him.
it's a small fee with a sell-on. I think I
Possibly.
think I read in one of the tweets that there is a sell-on fee if the Whitecaps sell him on.
That would be the sensible thing for any club to do now.
So I think that is something. I mean, maybe I'm telling you, this Alphonso Davies sell really helped them get some reputation and people selling people.
Because it's like, hey, look, it's true. They're going to have big teams watching their young talent.
Yeah. Again, this doesn't say doesn't paint the full picture, but the transfer market value for him is like 600,000. That's euros.
Yeah, we talked about that last week. Yeah.
He's made 38 career appearances for Stade Tunisien since 2016. Scored 3 goals. He's been capped at under 21 level by Tunisia. He was a starter at his old club. What is he here? Does he come in as the number 2? Does he come in behind Cornelius?
I think
him and Cornelius battling it out.
I think initially it'll be, if nobody else comes in, initially it'll be Henry and Cornelius because I think they don't want to push him into the starting lineup immediately because he is coming to a different country and everything. I think eventually he could surpass one of those 2. Like these 2 could be the starters if they do just 2 at the back. These 2 could be the starters by the summertime.
One interesting thing I heard come out of MDS's mouth this week is, as the things build, is that he expects everyone who's going to be in the March 2nd match day squad to be in Vancouver and with the team by the LA game.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah. It's good, but it's also it narrows the window.
I saw some YouTube video. I did some YouTube scouting on him when I heard him. He is a very aggressive center back. He'll go flying into tackles.
That goes down well with MLS refs.
The highlights showed that he was he made most of the tackles. Of course, they're not going to show the ones that he got called a foul for or whatever. But he's very aggressive. He seemed to move the ball up the pitch. He was very good at getting the ball up the pitch over the top of the back line and everything to the forward. So he seemed like somebody that would fit in with what MDS wants to do. Yeah.
I mean, right now you have to feel, apart from he's coming from North Africa to Vancouver, you also have to feel the chemistry aspect with Doneil and Eric Cornelius as well, even though Doneil wasn't really sure how many games he'd actually played with Cornelius. It's 2. That's going to give Cornelius the step up there as well. We definitely need to add at least 1 more centre-back, possibly 2. I would like to see us all going for an experienced guy, an Andy O'Brien-style guy, someone that's going to be a leader in the locker room, on the field. Henry talked about having one and being the guy, but I feel we need this older guy, someone in his 30s, not Liam Ridgewell.
I wouldn't go 30s. I would go a little bit younger than that. I would go in his
29,
27, 28, maybe the young Eric Hurtado age.
I did I know some people can maybe take it as a negative kind of swagger, but I did like when Doneil was just when you asked, are you, what is it, you're like one of the veterans because everyone's gone. I like how he was just it doesn't matter what you say, what you guys say. I am a veteran. I've been playing 8 years.
I didn't know he listened to this show. We do have another centre-back in camp right now, of course.
Yes.
The draft pick, Brendan McDonough, picked 2nd, 35th overall by the Whitecaps. Whitecaps got their man, MDS said. I genuinely actually believe that was the guy they highlighted that might be available round about that pick. We got a chance to speak to him on Friday after he'd had his first week of training under his belt. Really nice guy.
Quick chat.
Yeah. Not 22 minutes this time like Lucas Stoffer. Here's what Brendan had to say. So, Brendan, first of all, welcome to Vancouver. You've had first week at training camp under your belt. How have you found basically your journey from the draft till this point?
It's been great. It's been a really quick ride. There's not a lot of time in between, but going from the ecstatic feeling of getting selected by such a great club, and had a really nice interview with them down at the Combine in Orlando. So hearing my name called for Vancouver, it's the perfect spot for me. And then getting here, I was super excited, and then you got to work hard and put your head down. And these first 4 days have been intense, and that's what the coaching staff really wants from us this year, is this intensity and an aggressive nature to our play. So it's been a good first 4 days. I'm getting used to the speed of play. It's a really big jump from the college game, of course. So getting that under my belt, it feels good, and I'm feeling fresh and looking forward to this next week.
Now, when you're at the draft, obviously you're seeing guys getting picked, and when it gets to the second round, you don't know if you're going or not. Did you have an inkling that Vancouver were maybe going to come in for you, or did you expect to go somewhere at least in the second round?
I knew that if I dropped to Vancouver, that hopefully, with how great of an interview that I had with them and the comfortability levels were always there, that I felt like I was going to get picked by them. And hearing Coach Dos Santos reaffirm that I was their guy from the beginning of the draft was great to hear, and it was something that I felt and was really appreciative when they picked me. So it was, of course, it's nerve-wracking when you're sitting there waiting for your name to be called, but if I went somewhere else, it may not have been the best fit, and this is the best fit for me among all the teams in the league, so I'm really happy to have gone 35th to this team.
Now, you've come to a club as well, which right now there's not a lot of centre-backs here, so you've got a great shot at least of impressing, making the squad. When you're looking at something like that, you don't want to really go to a club where it's already really strong in centre-back depth. So, I mean, you must feel you've got a good chance if you can impress during this pre-season of making the team.
Right. With the current situation, there's two signed centre-backs, Derek and Doneil, and they're both super centre-backs. Learned a lot. Derek's actually younger than me, but he's been a pro for 6 years now, so I have so much to learn from him and Doneil. So it feels good knowing that if I do my job and I work hard, I have a good shot at hopefully making the team. So it just gives me an extra drive to stay motivated and keep working and not get my head down just because I'm a rookie or a second rounder. So it fuels me that I have a good chance, or hopefully a good chance, to make the team. So, but you gotta work hard. You can't think about that right now. You gotta do your job in camp and make this team better and play the way the coaches want to be played, and that's my main focus right now.
When you look at your style of play, what do you feel you need to work on to make this jump now to the pro game?
Speed of play, for sure. I've always thought of myself as a ball-playing center-back and someone who's comfortable on the ball, but that ball-playing center-back in college, you have to be even better in the pros. So my speed of play definitely needs to improve, and then defending in tight areas and playing in tight areas also needs to improve. That's the big things I've noticed from this week. And then just not getting your head down after mistakes. Mistakes are going to happen. You're going to give the ball away. And so to keep your confidence going and staying at a good level throughout everything, that's probably the biggest impact, or the biggest thing I've learned this first week. So taking the few things that I've learned and keep going, and hopefully progress and become even better and help this team even more throughout preseason.
Now, Mark's talked about he wants the centre-backs to really push forward and be aggressive and be able to get back. Does that suit your style of game?
Oh, yeah. I love being aggressive, whether it's with the ball or without the ball. And the way the clips he's showing us of Napoli and different teams pressing it really gets the guys excited, because as a center back you have a lot of room to step into midfield with the ball, or to step on the forward's back. So it allows the position of center back to be a bit more fun and a bit more entertaining. So it's an awesome style. It's a really modern style of soccer that we have. So I'm excited to keep learning.
I mean, watching you at training this week, you're very vocal out there. I saw you today, you're organising the back line, and like even in the scrimmages, a goal goes in, you look disappointed to let the goal in. Have you always been a leader? I know you were captain at Georgetown, but it's like, is that something that you've always stepped up to?
Yeah, I feel like it's an important quality, being the position that I am as a centre back, and then gaining the experience at Georgetown, being a two-time captain. It really makes you more comfortable in the role, and being a leader is so important, being able to organize, and you see everything as a center back. No other position has the sight that you have. So it's always been a part of my game, and even though I'm a rookie, I want to make sure that people know who I am as a player. And leadership is definitely an important aspect for me. So whether it's pros, whether in college, I'm still going to lead, and I'm still going to try to organize the group, and it's essential being a center back.
Now, you're the grandson of one of the most famous reporters and a pioneer kind of in the field. Yeah. Your dad's in American football. You have uncles in basketball and baseball. What brought you to soccer personally?
I don't know. I guess I have an older brother that I've always looked up to, and he went into soccer, so I thought I would follow him. And to be honest, at first I was terrible. I wasn't good at all. I was sitting on the ground picking flowers out of the field. So I don't know. I stuck with it. My dad, of course, I was always get pushed into sports, and he wanted me to go baseball or football. But I didn't hate football, but I thought baseball was the worst. But I just kept playing soccer, and then you get to a point where you notice that maybe you can do something, and your first thought is playing, making varsity, or going to college, and then you're in college, and then you start thinking about the pros. So it's always been my main sport. I've stuck with it, but it's been good to learn from my dad and from my uncles who are in different sides of the sports world. You can always take good lessons from them, so I'm appreciative of everything they've done for me.
Now, your uncles and dad have championship rings in their sports. Any added pressure in the family to get that ring eventually?
I guess so. And actually, my brother worked for the Eagles last year, so he also has a ring.
Oh, okay.
So that makes it 4 or 5. Okay. So that's good. It gives me a good feeling that hopefully we'll bring something to Vancouver. It's a good omen, I feel like, to bring it to Vancouver and to bring it into soccer. So yeah, I like that. We'll bring it here.
It'll be the ideal year for it, 40th anniversary of the last big championship. So.
Yeah.
So Brendan McDonough there. Really interesting family he comes from. And you heard it here. We have to sign him so that he gets his championship ring, and it's guaranteeing the Whitecaps win the MLS Cup in the 40th anniversary year.
But is it guaranteed this year?
Yep.
I don't think those guys won it.
I don't think that's what he meant.
No,
I don't think that's how this works.
Guaranteed. Take it to the bank.
Which bank is that?
The AFTN bank.
I got a brick bank at home.
We've expanded. We've got travel agency. We've got a bank now as well. Send us your money. We'll take good care of it. I haven't seen anywhere near enough of Brendan McDonough, obviously, to know if he has got a chance of making it.
Yeah.
You have to feel right now he's got a very good shot.
Well, MDS said himself that he doesn't have everything that they're looking for, but he has got some stuff, and so if he can develop the other things, then maybe he can be a player down the road.
Surely he's... Sorry, unless there's someone in the residency who's ready to be that fourth or fifth center back, surely he has to be a viable option for 4 or 5. I mean, if there was a residency kid, I'd say, academy kid, I'd say, that takes priority.
I'd say basically, unless he punches Mark DeSantis in the face or a teammate, he's got a really good shot of being the
which
fifth
is not
back.
Unheard of in MLS and in Whitecaps in Vancouver.
Not with Mark, but with other coaches and players. He seems good from what I saw of him. He was very vocal. He was very organised off the back line. Confident guy. He's been a captain. I wish him well. Anyway, we will be back with a look at the forward positions and the midfield positions next, after this.
Hey, I'm Brett Levis, and you're listening to the AFTN Soccer Show.
Band of the month, madness there. Our last song from them this month, that was Bed and Breakfast Man. Hope you've enjoyed Madness.
I enjoy the window into your musical taste.
Well, we've got a new band of the month coming up for February. And
is it Rage Against the Machine?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's the Specials, because the Specials have a new album coming out on February 1st.
Oh, really?
Their first one in umpteen years.
Are you gonna skank around in the...
Definitely. I like a bit of skank. March, we're going to have Art Brut.
Oh.
But anyway, that was Madness on CITR Radio, 101.9 FM, the AFTN Soccer Show, broadcasting from the unceded Musqueam Territory at the University of British Columbia. So we're going to move quickly up the pitch now, which is what Mark DeSantis wants the team to do.
Nice.
Going to start in the midfield. The announcements were coming thick and fast. It was madness, you may say. John Erice, is that what we're going with?
I could be wrong, but
he was the first announcement of the week, and stunningly, that hadn't been leaked out there on Twitter for days beforehand.
Yeah, this one came out of nowhere.
The Caps managed to keep this quiet.
I thought it was out there a little bit.
It was out about an hour before they announced it.
Yeah,
that's what. Okay.
Up until that point, no one had heard of him. Then they announced it. Folk looked at him. No one still heard of him.
I think they did this because they decided to do this last second because the outcry from the supporters of his old team was negative for them because they were very unhappy that he was leaving.
It's always good,
good
when
sign.
you sign a player that the other team's sad to see go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Poor Atlanta with Brixie. He's still got his little baby armadillo, Dalton, his little armadillo that he's got.
All right.
Cute little thing.
He'll enjoy the
You saw his armadillo?
Mm.
Oh, okay.
I think he was on his Instagram, but it's a fascinating story. Next time anyone speaks to Brexit, ask him about his little armadillo. But Johnny Risse, acquired via TAM, who I think is one of the scouts that we've got in Spain, 32-year-old Spanish midfielder. He's experienced. He's got over 300 experiences. Appearances. And experiences. You know what it's like when you knock back?
No. He's a football player. He's got more than 300 experiences.
Oh, probably. He's played in the top 2 leagues in Spain, as well as spells in Cyprus and Greece. All places I've been, so I'm happy to share our travel adventures. I'll see what he thought of Limassol, if he went to Paphos. Did he get up to the mountains in Cyprus? I like Cyprus. Doneil Henry as well.
Yes.
Mysteriously in Cyprus. Doesn't like to talk about it, though. Erice looks to be something that we haven't had a lot of in recent years, it feels. A defensive midfielder that has vision and can play pinpoint passes. Forward pinpoint
almost
passes.
Like a deep lying playmaker.
Yeah.
DLP.
His distribution has been talked up, as has been his tenacity. 2-year deal with a 1-year option. Interesting stat that came out. Last season, he only missed 3 matches. Those were the only 3 matches his team lost. That's a good sign. Talisman?
Yeah, I mean, that was like the talk of Russell Tybert, during all, like last season, right? Whenever he played, they didn't lose.
Yes.
Or they won, I think, his first 5-6 games.
And whenever Christian Teixeira scored, we didn't lose.
There you go. So people were calling for those kind of things.
So we'll let him go. Where do you see him fitting into the MDS model? In the middle of a 3 and a 4-3-3, which is what we were expecting? Or are we going to see a 4-5-man midfield maybe now?
Yeah, it could be. It could be 4-3. Yeah, 4-3-3 with him being the pinpoint guy, right in front of the...
At this moment, it feels hard. It feels unlikely that they're going to go to 3 at the back right now. Obviously, for obvious reasons.
Well, I don't think,
but
because they don't have
like a
enough
3-5-2. But that's I think his dream. Or sorry,
it was mine as well until last year.
I think it's MDS's ideal formation. So I think they're going to play 4-3-3, right?
Yeah.
So and I think they're going to play 2 of those central midfielders deeper, and Erice you would think will be one of them.
Yeah. Well,
I think Erice will be the one that doesn't move up as much, and whoever plays alongside him will be the one.
He'll be the 6th.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Where does that leave the likes of Russell Tybert? Where does it leave David Norman Jr.?
There's going to be a lot of games to play. I don't think we have to worry about it. I think MDS will be able to get people, the younger players. There's Andy Rose. No, Andy Rose is not young, but
Andy Rose is another.
The bench players. They will get them on there.
I had a chat with Andy Rose this week, which
we heard him flush earlier.
Yeah, we haven't had a chance to put on this week's show, so hopefully we'll have him on next week's show.
This is one of the questions we've had from Twitter tonight. Kunarad asked, "Are we overloaded in the midfield?"
No. Not yet.
Not yet?
Not yet.
Not like where it was last year?
No, we haven't got 7 DMs.
Right.
Although close.
There's 5.
Yeah. We've got a couple of wingers now.
But you say we have 5 DMs, but a lot of those DMs aren't one-dimensional. They have different things to offer in those roles.
Yes.
So there's some of these guys can pass, some of these guys can move up the pitch, some of these guys can be destroyers. So I don't think I felt like everybody that played the DM role last year was basically the same player.
Steve, you better hope they all can pass.
Well, none of them last year seemed like they could pass.
Now, if you remember last week when we were talking about football chants, I mentioned the Dutch hardcore thrash punk song of the East Fife chant, "I Love a Lassie."
Oh, right.
We didn't
Yes.
sing it.
Yes.
Oh, I can go into
No,
No.
please.
turns out I've actually played that in a previous podcast.
Yeah, I don't know how.
But I do love a lassie. Lass Bangura. Here on a season loan. He is from Real Vallorca.
You actually put his name on this time.
Yes, I did, unlike last week's. We just talked about the mysterious guy.
Yeah.
We did talk about him last week.
Yeah.
We were badly needing wingers. MDS described him as explosive, good on one-on-ones. He's 26-year-old. He spent time in La Liga, League One in France. He's a Guinea international.
And I think I saw from Twitter that he's underperformed right now. At this point up into his career,
is he the guy who everyone on social media was saying, like his fans from his club or whatever, saying he'll enjoy the bars and the nightlife?
I think that was Risi.
Was that a Risi?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I found that quite interesting.
So, but I think Bangura has been known.
Explore your new city.
He's been loaned a number of times. He seems like he plays the first half of the season.
Yeah.
With Real, and then he'll get loaned out somewhere. For the rest of the year, this is a 1-year loan, I believe, a full 1-year loan with an option to buy, or that's what's been said about. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see if this is the place where he finally finds what he's got, found it on the pitch.
Well, it was like Toronto's goalkeeper Bono. He went there and he found what he was looking for.
Yeah,
yeah. No, it's a smart way to go about it. Kind of a bit of an unproven player, his consistency is a bit unproven, and so his track record isn't great, I guess. Which
is what's been said about a couple of the signings and guys that are meant to be coming, which in itself is a risk.
Yes, but that's not different than the whole MLS era for Vancouver.
No,
I mean some players aside, but. So yeah, I think the 1-year loan option to buy, I think is wise.
Yeah,
but it will be how much can he contribute, and how much is he going to play? Is he only going to be able to play on the right side? Can he play on the left?
I think when I looked at him last week,
he can play either side.
He can play either side, as can our other new winger signing, cheeky little Brazilian that we talked about last week, Lucas Venuto.
And he actually can play anywhere along that line. In the three, he can
Lass
play,
or Venuto.
Venuto,
yeah.
He can play in the middle too if he wants.
It was funny. We were at training and we were standing there with Mr. Whitecaps, and he's just like, "Oh, did you guys know about Venuto?" And we're like, "Oh yeah, we know." He's like, "Oh, we just announced it." And we're like, "Oh, I didn't." Grabbed our phones.
Well, the day before he tweeted on Instagram that he was on a plane to go somewhere, but he never mentioned where.
No, but it was a close shave, but we got him in the end, so and that's good. I don't see Bangura as the starter. Venuto I do see coming in as a starter. 26 goals and 151 career appearances.
He's more proven.
We talked in depth last week about him, so we won't go into too much about him. He's played with Jordi Reyna in Austria. He knows Reyna. Reyna, I got a chance to speak to him very briefly on Monday when he just wandered into the media room, sat down.
With the good hair.
Was it? Yeah.
The dreadlocks, yeah.
Was a little bit confused as to why he was there.
Yeah.
He thought he was talking to us. We weren't talking to him. So we were just chatting to him. I don't think he did.
No, okay.
No. Mark DeSantis did and had a coffee as well.
Yes.
But he says, he knows him. Described him as a very good player, fast and skillful. So at least he's still got a friend here, Jordy. So that's good. We're getting a little bit worried he was going to be Billy No Mates, but he's got a friend. Venuto's still only 24. So I see him as a starter, a guy that's got a chance to prove himself, maybe get a move back to Europe if he does really well.
Yeah, he's 5'5", Bangura's 5'6", so they're both about the same height.
I'm going to feel massive when I'm interviewing these guys. It's great. Maxime Crepeau.
Yeah, you're concerned about that.
Tall when I was talking to him.
You're very concerned about that now.
He just seemed a little bit bigger than me, and I wouldn't want me as a goalkeeper. Another guy coming in that will be a starter, although maybe not right away, but he's going to certainly be a starter, is Hwang In-beom, or Honeyboom seems to be the name that's kind of pronounced. That's Silly C's nickname for him anyway.
When it's said really fast, when he was saying when the commentators were saying his name,
Honeyboom.
It sounded like Honeyboom.
Is he Vancouver's honey badger?
Oh,
possibly.
Yeah. 22-year-old Korean international. Obviously, he's going to appeal to the big Korean community here. Looking forward to his signing session where him and Kirsty Clark sign some jerseys for everyone. That should be lots of good fun.
That was so diabolical. That was ridiculous.
But Hwang, very highly thought of. Put an article out very late last night. I think it came out about midnight on him. Chatted to a guy, Paul Neat, from K-League United website.
Right. Yes. You talked.
It's an English language website that covers the K-League.
Watches him lots.
Yeah, he's watched the guy since 2015. Very high on him. His club, Daejeon Citizen, are very high on him as well, and really disappointed in him going, but they know he's a big talent. We've apparently signed him. It's been confirmed in Korea. It's not been confirmed here. We beat out a couple of Bundesliga 2 sides for him.
Yeah.
And apparently we've paid 1.8 million transfer fee.
And I guarantee there's probably another sell-on fee on that too.
Oh, definitely will be for that.
He's more of like an 8, right?
He's an attacking midfielder.
Oh, okay. So
He can play a 10 if you need him in a pinch.
He split his time between being a 10 and an 8.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's also played a little bit as a defensive midfielder, but he's mostly an attacking midfielder.
And some Korean reporters have mentioned that he's not fully recovered from his knee injury that he had. I think it was last year or something.
But he has
like that.
been over at the Asian Cup.
It wasn't a major injury, but it was enough to knock him out for a few months. So, but it wasn't anything for like a year.
But he has to have a medical coming in. Anyway.
Yeah.
He will.
I mean, we're talking about, it's a guy that can come over, do well, represent his league, maybe lead to more players coming over. We said that about Masato Kudo, talking about players that were knocked out.
Yeah.
He was literally knocked out and had a really bad season here and didn't live up to what we were expecting, ended up going back to Japan. I hope this works out better.
Well, we had YP Lee and that worked out well.
Yeah, but let me finish.
Okay.
Like YP Lee had played in Tottenham.
Yes,
He's played all over the world.
Yeah,
Forget about Tottenham. He played for Dortmund.
Hwang has never played outside of Korea.
Right.
Apart from when he's been with the national team. So he's never played his club football outside. MLS is a physical league. He's not used to that physicality. The pace, I've told he should be good with the pace, but there are some concerns. He's come to a new country. It's English. He's been taking lessons, so still not fluent in it.
We're trying to switch from German to English really quickly there.
Maybe have to ease him in gently into the starting lineup.
And that's where you have Felipe on the roster, and he can definitely play that number 10 or role, and you don't need to rush him in. It's like all these new signings, you don't need to rush him in.
He's very highly thought of there.
1.8 million transfer fee.
Yep.
We don't know his what he's being tagged with. He's designated player, not designated player.
I think he would be. He might be a young designated player.
Because that was one of Kunerad's other questions on Twitter.
What's his age? What's the age limit for a young designated player? Is 23 and under? So he'd be 22. So he'd be a young designated.
But I thought Jodisi said it was 25.
That was for the
Whitecaps internal
of the year, because we're not going to have any problems with that next season.
Yeah. Are you okay?
And there goes Zach's phone. That's what happens when you have such a big one. It's massive.
Thanks for noticing.
It's a plus size.
Oh, that would make sense. Like the jersey I bought him last year.
It was a T-shirt. I still wear it. It's great.
Good. Steve's present. We were going to talk about that off the top of the show. I forgot. It sat for a week at Canadian Customs and finally left it on the 23rd. So it is on its way. Next Sunday's show, I guarantee you'll have your Christmas present.
I feel so bad.
And it'll be December, so
Steve got no present this week.
It was supposed to be December.
First week in 3 or 4 weeks.
Christmas is in December.
I've got Jaffa cakes.
Can I get a confirmation? Christmas is December, right?
It's celebrated in December.
In December,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Well, it depends what culture you come from.
Okay, gotcha.
If you're Scottish and you like the cheap sales in Boxing Day in January, that is kind of when you do your shopping.
Sure, that makes sense.
That's why there's Black Friday.
Think of it as an early Valentine's Day.
Oh, excellent.
Let's look at it that way. So those are the players that we know are either here or are going to come in. We've got our 10. Now we just need a striker or 3. Especially with Anthony Blondell leaving to go to Chile. Huachipato is how I'm going with it. We kind of talked about them last week because their 21-year-old Canadian right-back, Juan Cordova, really wants to come to Vancouver, as we were talking about.
How badly does he want to come to Vancouver, Michael?
So much so that he does an interview on local radio. That has not gone down very well with the Whitecaps. The deal's not dead in the water, but my understanding is the Whitecaps wanted him to come to pre-season training camp to get a look at him in person. The agent's like, no, you've got all these tapes, you can see what he can do, he's a Canadian international, so you do the deal. Not sure if it's going ahead. Going the other way, though, to Chile is Anthony Blondell. Now, the two deals were not linked. We kind of alluded to this last week on the show. But the two deals aren't linked, so Blondell can go even if we don't end up with Cordova. There was a stumbling block with Blondell going at one point early in the week in which the Chilean club's valuation of him did not match the Whitecaps' valuation of him. It's a 1-year loan deal with an option to buy.
The Blundell one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I believe now that the clubs have come to that understanding. They've got the figure that they want. So Blundell has gone there. He's free as a bird. Go and play his football.
But he's still a Vancouver Whitecap, so.
Yes, he is.
Officially, yes. Yeah.
He never lived up to what we hoped for. He might come back. You never know. Had a difficult first year, both on and off the pitch. That's all we'll say about that just now. But that does leave Theo Bayer as our lone striker. He is up for it.
Yeah, I don't know why people are talking about other strikers. Let's have Theo Bayer, and
Well, we've been linked with 2 strikers, but one of those is apparently dead in the water.
Which one?
The Icelandic guy that's at Nantes, Kolbeinn Sigthorsson. And I was told some stuff about him on Saturday from
people.
Someone in Iceland. I will just put it that way.
Tater?
No.
Oh.
The stuff I was told about him was some off the pitch scrapes he has been in.
Oh. Well, he would fit in.
He would not be a good person to bring here, I do not feel.
No.
And I do not think his attitude to playing would fit in with Marc Dos Santos.
And the thing is when it looked like the French paper or somebody in France reported that it was a done deal. I think it was on a Thursday or Friday, and then I looked him up.
Yeah.
And then one of the first articles was how 1 year ago he refused a loan deal to Sweden because he didn't want to play on artificial turf. And I tweeted that already.
Yeah.
I go, is this a Barry Robson situation again, that he doesn't know what turf
You
is?
tweeted it out. Sigthorsson saw your tweet and said, wait a minute, they play on turf? And then that was the end of the deal.
Yeah,
that's how I'm spinning the story.
Yeah, basically I've heard like his head has been big since his performance at Euro 2016.
Yes.
Yeah, probably.
He
knocked out
training with
England.
the reserve side.
Right.
Yeah, he seems more trouble than he's worth, frankly.
Are we going to talk about the other fellow?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we got a tweet about that as well.
Yes, we've been linked to the Iranian striker, Sardar Azamoun. He's currently with Russian side Rubin Kazan. He's currently over in the United Arab Emirates with Iran at the Asian Cup. They have a semi-final on Monday, so the time this podcast comes out,
he did really
that'll
well
be
against
over.
China. He was he scored the second one. The first one, he made a big play where he chased down the Chinese defender and then stole the ball and squared it so he set up that first goal and he scored the second. So very, very crucial.
Well, several top teams are apparently interested in him in Europe. There's a price tag being put on him of around $14 million.
Euro.
No, dollars.
Oh, I thought it was euro.
Oh, maybe it was euro.
I think it was dollars.
I think it was dollars
Yeah, it
too
was
that I
dollars.
saw.
Yeah.
If this comes off, I will be stunned.
Yes.
Very impressed, but stunned.
Yeah.
This is taking the Whitecaps in a whole different direction. Discuss. I'll sit down.
No. Yeah, it would be definitely a different direction than they've gone in the past. Even that they're going with the South Korean gentleman. I'm calling the South Korean because I don't want to butcher his name.
Yes, because you'll hear when we do our Andy Rose interview, I did mention to Andy Rose that he referred to another ex-sounder as the Colombian, and we're trying to work out what he was going to call Andy.
Yeah.
What are you going to call Andy?
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
This would be a new direction. This would be kind of like a wow. This would be going, I think, above and beyond what people's expectations are.
Yes.
Which is, again, not
blowing the Alfonso money in one fell swoop.
Which would not be what we've come to expect in the MLS era. That's all we can say about that. We got a tweet from the Dental Damnation. He asked, if they land Azuman, are you satisfied with Theo as the backup? I will give you. I want your response.
No, I still want somebody. It doesn't have to be somebody that plays a lot.
No,
but I need.
You need a proper experienced backup striker.
Maybe an MLS experience.
One kick, one twist in the turf, you've lost your striker.
Yeah.
You need another guy.
And Theo
Tossant Ricketts I had as an ideal person, but now he's
Lithuania.
Yeah.
But of course, Theo can play other positions, even though he is a striker.
He can certainly play it wide.
So Dental Damnation says yes, just because he can learn with a player of Azuman's class. But I think you're right in terms of depth.
But you have to think Azuman's then going to go away with Iran as well. You don't then just want to be left with Theo. But remember, Jordy can play up top if push came to shove as well.
Venuto can play up top as well.
But he can also play in one of those wing positions. Those are wide striker positions.
And like Mr. Whitecap told us that the way he's going to have it, those three people can interchange.
Yes.
Up top. So
It made you happy.
It made me happy, yes, because you finally understood what I was talking about a couple of weeks ago.
Still say we need a striker. Anyway, he's 24. Nothing's going to happen with him until after the Asian Cup, so that could be Monday evening, Tuesday, or it could be later in the week. 42 goals and 20 assists and 154 career club appearances, according to Transfer Market. That's impressive. Even more so, 27 goals and 43 appearances for Iran.
Yeah.
So you're doing that, no matter who you're playing against, that's at international level. That's good.
And he'll have other suitors, obviously, other than Vancouver. So
Yes.
he'll have options.
Well, he played 3 games at the World Cup, so
Yeah.
folks going to know him from there. There's been a lot of clubs mentioned that they're after him. Was it not even PSG or something?
PSG, I'm not sure.
But I'll say now, I can't see him coming here. I think this is like fantasy booking land, but I hope I am wrong.
Well, just go back and check the files and see where Greg Anderson booked his last flight.
Well, he didn't go through me for this one, so I don't know.
Well, he
Shocking,
did
though.
go to UAE.
Oh, wait, well, he was in the UAE.
Yeah, and that's where Iran was
Oh, yeah,
playing.
he was at the
Oh,
Cup.
double dipping.
Oh,
You know, he
2
likes
for
to do
1.
that. Yep. You've seen him in the press box with the little chicken tenders.
You have?
Probably.
I think he's vegan.
Really?
No, I'm just kidding.
Final player news. There's another little cheeky Brazilian in trial at camp. 22-year-old DM. We said we didn't have enough DMs. Mateus Queiroz.
Queiroz.
Steve and I call him Orange Heel.
Now,
Yes.
he is from Sao Paulo.
Mm-hmm.
But
B.
B. But when I watched him on, again, I did some YouTube scouting on him. When I watched him and he was playing for the U20 team, I didn't see him as a DM in those highlights. He
Were you
was
looking at the right guy?
Yes, because they were actually pointing. They had the arrow and the name pointing to him every time.
Oh.
He was actually pushing up the field and almost always in the final third and in the opposition box. He was always attacking, always scoring goals. So I think he is a DM, but he's somebody maybe more up the field. That like
More an 8 than a
more
6.
an 8 than the 6. Yeah,
So, like these videos where there's an arrow with the player.
yeah.
Can I get that when I'm doing the UBC games? It would really help me
Yeah,
identify
it
who's
might
who.
be, yeah.
Because you're so far away from the action.
I think they do it afterwards.
I think Vancouver would do well to bring as many Brazilians in on trial as possible.
because the last trialist we had Brazilian
Yeah.
did pretty well for us.
Exactly. Camilo.
He hasn't
I
played
didn't-
at a
you're
high
not supposed to
level.
mention his name.
He has been loaned out a lot as well.
He's the Brazilian.
I think there's going to be a lot of action in the next week, so I'm sure we'll have a lot more to talk about in next week's show. Final Whitecaps thing we're just going to talk about in this week's episode. The new kit came out.
Yeah.
What?
I love it, apart from the red numbers on the back.
So you're not going to get a name anyways if you
Yeah,
get
Yes, ignore the name, it's the number.
Yeah,
Oh,
but you
yeah.
get a
The
blank.
players are wearing the number. I
Oh,
don't care
gotcha.
about that from
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, yeah.
us wearing it. It's like trying to look on the telly, trying to work out the numbers.
The-
I think it's hard.
The one question I have, we were talking about this the other day. I forgot to look at the pictures. The red numbers are not from the 79 year, are they?
No.
They're
Seemed
from like the
from
80s.
74 year.
That's
Didn't the 74 they had red numbers too?
74 was
74
a
is
red
red.
kit.
Oh, red
Red,
kit,
white
right?
kit.
Of course, yeah.
So that's kind of weird that you're doing like a 40th anniversary of the kit, but you're doing different color numbers. But
Someone pointed out if I had a white outline around the number,
Yeah.
that would have made it way better. Someone else on Twitter said that the hoop should only have been on the front.
But it's
Which
not a
is
hoop.
then not a
though.
hoop.
it's not, yeah.
Now
They had that with Arbutus.
They might have. This might have been a compromise with Adidas. We don't know because Adidas, from what we hear, Adidas didn't want to do the hoop at all.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there was some. They had to battle with Adidas to get the hoop. From what I've heard on Twitter, I've seen it. A couple of people posted on Twitter.
But here's
Because Adidas controls that.
But if you want something made, you can get it made.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I'm not saying it was a
Bespoke.
massive. I'm not saying it was a massive battle, but it was. They had definitely
Bespoke.
had to
That's
get
right.
it.
Bespoke.
It's going to be a big seller.
Oh,
I love it. I love what they're doing.
They'll make up all the money they lost in the raindrops, the triangles. Yeah.
Hey, maybe you can pick that up for a $5. Still not sure I would buy it. Anyway,
Pajamas.
We'll be back with some MLS chat and some Canadian Premier League chat after this.
Hi, this is Andy Rose, and you're listening to the AFTN Soccer Show.
Welcome back to the AFTN Soccer Show on CITR Radio 101.9 FM. What was that music, Steve?
That was a song called My Type.
Oh.
Which I'm assuming MDS, it has its type for sure.
What is your type, Steve?
For a striker?
No,
Somebody
just
that can
in
score.
general, what's your type?
Anything. I'm open.
I like aerial.
Do you really want to know when you say what? Do you really want to know the answer? Do you want him to expand on that?
Aerial. Helvetica a little bit, but mostly aerial.
Okay. One quick question from Twitter that we didn't get into.
Do you think I meant the Little Mermaid?
No, I didn't know what you meant.
Oh.
Honestly, when you said type, you said aerial. I thought you were talking about like long ball, like football, like that sort of type of style.
Oh, I do. I like Route 1.
Yeah. Oh man. One other question from Twitter before we go post Whitecaps. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
So Kunarad also asked where are the DPs at, and then asked if we've got any.
One's on a plane.
If we've got any rumors.
One's in Iran.
In Boom is going to be one.
Right. So a young DP,
I think
possibly
he should be.
So that's one.
Yeah, and if we get the Iranian guy,
he would have
that's
to be.
Definitely a DP. Yeah.
And then you save one for the summer.
Yeah, it did sound like we were maybe only getting one.
Yes.
Just now.
Well, yeah. I that's the vibe I'm getting from MDS the whole time. One at best.
Yeah, but if something, maybe he wasn't expecting Azuman to be available. So maybe now that he's become available, maybe they have an opening to get him.
I don't think he has become available.
Yeah.
Like,
it's just people who are going to.
If we want to pay a lot of money, he'll become available.
Exactly.
Yeah, no,
like
I know. What I'm saying is that
keep him.
no, but maybe they didn't realize that that the other team would be willing to sell him. Maybe they just didn't realize that. Maybe they thought he might wait till the summer, but then maybe who you say Ruben Kazan he's with?
Yeah.
Maybe they needed money or something. You don't know what situation is, right?
They do.
So there you go. So that maybe they didn't realize that. Maybe they thought they had to wait till summer, and now maybe he comes available sooner.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Manu would know that. We should ask Manu that because he knows the Russian league like the back of his hand.
Tweet us, Manu.
So Vancouver, as of right now, has no DPs. Let's focus on some clubs from MLS who do have DPs.
Yeah. I'm just gonna go to the MLS news of the week next.
Sure.
Just to keep the flow going with that. And we're gonna start in the East. It's not been a lot happening this week, but first question: have FC Cincinnati lost the plot?
Have you? Did you call up Alan?
Oh,
I was shocked when I saw this.
Yeah,
like I did not. This is a lot.
Yeah, they've given up 300,000 in allocation money, 200 in GAM, 100 in TAM, first spot in the allocation order, and what do they get back in return? A guy that is not even a regular starter, but is from Cincinnati, Nick Hagglund.
That maybe is the reason why then, I guess. But that's not enough reason to spend that much.
The only thing I'll say about this that might make some sense if you're Allen and you're Cincinnati is they have a whole bunch of extra funny money to play with.
Yeah.
As an MLS expansion team, the Vancouver Whitecaps got $1 million extra allocation GAM as an expansion team. You have to think in 2019
it's more.
Cincinnati has more than that
because their fee was more too.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm assuming you're right. Probably.
So yes, it does sound a bit crazy based on how we've seen GAM and TAM used in trades already, but we don't. This is MLS.
It is.
I mean, even the top spot in the allocation order is worth an absolute fortune.
Remember Raheem Edwards went for so much last year? Yeah,
400?
Something like that.
Hagglund is 5 years with TFC. 67 games he started.
But the thing I remember most about Hagglund is when Vancouver went late in the year. Remember that goal late in the game when Hagglund was just standing there like a deer caught in headlights, and he just was looking at the ball and didn't move at all.
The 2-1 this year.
I think it was, yeah.
Well, keeping with TFC,
they've
lost another player.
Yeah, the defender.
Gregory van der Veel, after an altercation with Greg Vanny.
Yeah, I heard...
Did you?
No, I heard that there might have been fisticuffs involved in this.
Yes.
And that's why he was sent away. They've also, a TFC spokesman has said that they're looking to find him another spot inside or outside MLS. So he's officially done with TFC.
If you punch the coach, you're done. I mean...
you're allowed a mistake.
What if he missed
Scott?
What if he missed?
I think you swing at the coach.
Okay, swing at the coach. Okay.
But they also might lose. There's these rumors
Zhivinko might be away. Yeah.
Well, Saudi Arabia. There's rumors that there's a Saudi Arabian team that are looking into getting him. Yeah.
That's crazy talk.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's a big lead.
If that happens, it just blows up their team and as they're getting ready for the Champions League.
Great. They lost a friendly today to LAFC 3-1.
Yeah, but LAFC is better than them.
Yeah.
Now,
sorry, the goats, up the goats.
Another transaction that's going to hurt a team, in my opinion, not Michael's opinion. Philadelphia got Aurelien Collian.
I like him.
I know you like him, but he's old.
He can still do a job.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
Yeah,
I like his physicality.
As long as he doesn't slap a former teammate or something like that. Was he the one? No, he was the one that got slapped. Yeah, that's right.
By Kaká.
He's physical. I like that.
It wasn't slapped. It was just a hand to the face gesture from
he's your veteran centre back he can bring in, although he's not quick enough for NDS's system.
Yeah.
New England. They declined a transfer bid from Uruguayan side Nacional for Diego Fagundes, but Fagundes said he wants to leave. We've seen a lot of this right now. Players trying to, like Albert Ellis, our good friend.
Elise.
Albert Ellis. Forcing Houston's hand, he thought, backfired. He's now stuck with him till at least the summer.
I feel bad for him.
Yeah. He wants to be in Houston.
Diego Fagundes has been at New England for so long.
I think he joined when he was 15 or 16.
He can swoop in and
he is Uruguayan. He is Uruguayan heritage. Yeah. I feel bad for him in that.
Big Bucks Atlanta finally have Pity Martinez from River Plate.
Yeah.
We talked about it in the show last week. 25-year-old Argentine playmaker.
He announced it after they won the
yeah.
Is this the advent of the 4DP?
It's the new rule, the 4DPs. It's a nice problem to have. You've got Almiron, Barco, Martinez, and now Martinez.
Yeah.
Maybe they think they'll just confuse them by having two of the same name.
Almiron is his agent this week is starting negotiations with some Italian teams, trying to get them to bid on Almiron. So maybe he's not going to England. Maybe he's going to Italy.
I don't think he's suited for England.
I'm just going to throw this out there.
I think he's just suited to want more money.
Well, he's earned.
Yeah.
In the sort of mood of just sharing, why don't the Whitecaps take Joseph Martinez off their hands, let them get the three guys?
Like a Matthias Laba?
Yeah.
And we promise not to play him when we play Atlanta.
Yeah.
We'll give him a rest.
Yep. That sounds perfect. So he's coming to the West. You can book that now. And it's been a quiet week in the West. But one of Steve's favourites to talk to.
Yeah.
Timmy Howard. He's announced he's going to retire.
He's crossing that line.
I want to come this year to your conversation with him.
Okay, sure.
I actually thought he had retired. But it turns out he hasn't. He's going to retire at the end of the season. Then he wants to get into television and media work. So we'll have him on the show.
So this is like his Landon Donovan, I bet you he'll get a bunch of...
It's going to be a Tim Howard goalkeeping trophy.
Maybe. But also all the fair... He's going to have a season-long farewell, like every city, all that.
That's going to be boring.
Fans across North America will be shouting abuse at him. Not really a lot else exciting, though, happened in MLS unless I missed anything.
I'll bring it up in headlines if there's anything missed.
Are you talking about the goats? You ever think about the goats?
Yeah, Mark Anthony Cre.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, he's back.
Yeah, great news for LAFC and Canada. Mark Anthony Cre back in training. Big season ahead for him. Can he come back in and be as effective as he was? I kind of hope he's not, and then we get him here.
Or losing his assistant coach from last year.
Yeah.
The guy that believed him.
Interrupt his development.
He has a bad start to the season. He loses his spot. We go in, we swoop him away. He rediscovers his form. Perfect.
Yeah.
That's in my book.
On next year's FIFA The Journey.
Ooh, Mark Anthony Cre. Let's move on to the Canadian Premier League, which I'm sure Mark Anthony Cre may end up in about 10 or 15 years' time.
Oh, I'm sure.
David Clanican, your commissioner of the league, he sat down for a lengthy chat with Sportsnet's John Molinaro before his Twitter account was hacked.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was
I was wondering what was up with that.
It's happened before, too, to him, I think.
Has it?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, he shouldn't just have his password as pasta. One of the things that was revealed...
We mentioned that because he tweets his pictures of food a lot.
Yeah. And he's Italian.
Yeah.
Just thought I'd clarify that. One of the things that he revealed is a new roster rule, or a roster rule. Because they're all new roster rules.
New to everyone outside the league, yeah.
Clubs must have 3 Canadian under-21 players that each get 1,000 minutes a season. which seems pretty excessive, and a struggle for a club like Halifax.
Yeah. I mean, I was talking to some of the supporters around the league, and most teams have at max 2 amongst their current signees already. And then, what's 1,000 minutes? That's like 11 games. 11
games.
11
90-minute games.
Yes. So
in a season of 28?
But Liga MX has done this.
I think that's possible to do.
Yeah, Liga MX has done this in the past, something similar, where they've said, okay, if you have to have so many players underage and they have to play so many minutes.
It's going to affect the quality of the league, though. Pacific FC are laughing because you've got Baldissimo and Verhoeven that qualify for starters.
And Campbell too. What if actually improves the thing, because it forces coaches to put these young guys in, and instead of relying on veteran players all the time, because the coaches tend to rely on older players.
Name me one good Canadian under 21.
The only thing you don't
Alphonso
want to
Davies.
I was waiting.
I
thought Zach would be right in there.
Yeah, well, 86 minute. That was great for him today. The only thing you don't want to see is for the players what Vancouver experienced. I can't speak for Montreal or Toronto, but what Vancouver experienced with their USL side, where it became this
or Pacific FC as they're known now,
became complacent because like a bunch of the Canadians knew they had to start because there were so few of them.
Yeah, you have to still start 6.
Yeah.
Do you have to start 6, or is it 6 on the field at all times?
6.
Okay, so you can pull one off at half time, or even in the first minute.
You could, yes.
Yeah. Get them do our video.
But did you remember there was that kind of feeling around that some of the guys in WFC2 felt like, I'm playing, and therefore maybe they didn't go as hard in training or whatever.
Well, yeah, and then there was a famous incident where Alan took off some of the MLS Canadian guys he had because they weren't trying, and got bollocked for it by Gordon Forrest afterwards. So it's little things like that maybe make a coach think that his future is elsewhere, especially when it's done on the pitch in front of everyone when you're watching. Other roster rules that are already known are like the 6 Canadian starters, and every CPL team must have 50% plus 1 in terms of Canadian quota. So if you've got a squad of 20, you need to have at least 11, etc., etc. Doesn't look like there's going to be an issue for most of the teams. I do think Halifax, though, are going to struggle to get quality, but they have signed a good deal with Nova Scotia Soccer, which I'm sure will probably be in headlines. Maximum of 7 foreign nationals per team as well.
Yep.
Halifax already have their 4 Trinidad guys. Yeah. So there's maybe Steve took this as Clanigan having a little dig at
I don't know if it's a little dig at Bobo. I just found it funny. Essentially, okay, I'll read the quote. I had a great meeting with, he was talking about a meeting with the MLS teams, because he said he didn't talk to MLS yet, but he has talked to the MLS teams. He says, I had a great meeting with Montreal Impact owner Joey Saputo. He's somebody who puts his money where his mouth is. Toronto FC president Bill Manning is a great guy, and I know MLSC chairman Larry Tenemon on a personal level, so I know how passionate he is about the game. I've met with Bobby Lenarduzzi. We need to spend more time, do more and spend more time together and talk about the sport in Canada. That was the quote. And
that's awkward.
Not glowing.
That's awkward when you say, "Oh, this guy's a great guy. This guy's a great guy," and it's like,
"Oh, man, Bobby Lenarduzzi."
Yeah, we got to spend more time together before I can say he's a great guy.
Yeah. Well, maybe they haven't spent enough time together.
Yeah.
They did meet at the launch because I saw them chatting.
Pacific FC. Yeah.
A lot there. Talk of Pacific FC, another week with a number of player additions, and from our point of view, the 2 main ones: Mark Village, former WFC2 goalkeeper, leaving his player coaching role at FC Cincinnati. He was involved with the academy there as well, to come home to BC. Have to think he's probably going to be involved in some kind of coaching capacity there as well. And former residency standout Noah Verhoeven heading to the island after his season in the USL. One of the few guys that actually played for Fresno.
The Van Hoven brothers are together.
Yeah.
They're not brothers, right?
No.
Yeah.
You can tell that by looking at them.
Yeah, I thought you might. Okay.
One has an extra O or E in his name.
Oh, that's right. Totally. He's the only keeper. Mark Village is the only keeper so far signed by Pacific, right?
Yes.
Sounds right. Yeah.
Would you expect him to be the starter? Not just because of that, obviously, but do you think they're going to bring in anyone else?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sorry. Anyone else who you think would challenge and beat him out?
I think they might.
Okay.
Let's finish with Verhoeven. That's a good pickup, first of all, for Pacific.
Yeah.
He was getting rave reviews in the times that he did play with Fresno, it's another top prospect that the Whitecaps have lost. That's something we spoke to Nick Dazovic about, and we'll bring you that in next week's show. They're at least going to get competitive minutes playing for Pacific, and we will probably still hold their MLS rights, so at least there's that. Probably won't lose them to an MLS team. Pacific, they're opening themselves up to get called Whitecaps light, I guess. Is that a bad thing, though? It's natural, surely.
Well,
you're going to get players that come through the
if you're
keeping local.
If you're going for BC players, the majority of the best BC players came from played in the residency, the Whitecaps, because that's who they were recruiting. So if that's the case, then obviously you are going to be looking at Whitecaps.
I think
former Whitecaps.
I don't know if they're going to use all 7 international spots.
I know they're going to use one unless he counts as a domestic. Victor Blasco, he is signing with them.
Okay, so him aside, because he's also been part of the Whitecaps. But I think how they use those spots will shape the final flavoring of that team.
Yeah.
So if those are strong, difference-making kind of players, then maybe not so much. But yeah, there's no doubt that people are going to say, well, I mean, right now, every single player that is under contract or been taken in the university draft has a Whitecaps connection, right? There's not one player who's not.
No, every single one.
Yeah.
So,
and Ben Fisk is going to get announced pretty soon as joining them.
Ben 10, man.
As was leaked by a local microfooty company who invited Ben Fisk along to do some signing with the kids and said, just before he announces that he's signing for Pacific FC in their newsletter.
Oh, really? It was
Yeah.
really okay.
So, congratulations.
We had heard about that, but we didn't want to release it before. But if somebody else breaks it, why not?
Someone's done it now, so let's put it out there. Talking about the international guys, did you look at the Danish guy I told you about last week, Lurpak? Anyone look at his highlights?
No.
Check him out.
Okay, well, check
he's
him
a
out.
little guy, but kind of blows his own trumpet a little bit, but he's good.
I'm sure he is.
Anyway, that is the CPL chat for now, and we'll be back with more after this.
Hi, I'm David Norman, and you're listening to the AFTN Soccer Show.
Welcome back to the last part of the AFTN Soccer Show on CITR Radio 101.9 FM. Wavelength is my favourite part of the show. And this is our final song in a month of songs dedicated to football teams. And it's by a Welsh band. I seem to say that a lot. I don't know what it is. I seem to like a lot of Welsh bands. This is a band called Helen Love. Not just a single person. Although there's a girl in it called Helen. And this is Cardiff City Superstars.
Saturday morning and my heart goes boom. Football focus in my living room. It's the end of the summer, so it's gotta be another long season in Division 3. I got my blue shirt on from the 70s with a yellow white stripe and the nice long sleeves. Silver Road, we make our way to Ninian Park where the Bluebirds play. La 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 la, Cardiff City Superstars. La 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 la, Cardiff City Superstars. But the winning goal feels right at the back. Clark and Gosh got the runs leading the attack. Sakina is at Wembley picking up the cap. I love it when I hear the shout, the city's going up. La 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 la, Cardiff City Superstars. La 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 la, Cardiff
Na 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 na. Cardiff City Superstars.
I enjoyed that song.
Yeah.
It took me to my youth.
I haven't seen you smile that big in a while.
During Wavelength.
Yeah, during Wavelength especially.
Banana Splits theme.
Yeah, I watched that when I was younger.
I love Banana Splits.
Yeah.
Helen Love. Lo-fi glitter pop is what Helen Love play. I've got so many of their stuff on vinyl, and I don't have a lot of their stuff on CD. There is 2 other football songs by them that I need to see if they're on YouTube so I can get them on the show. I can always just bring the vinyl. We do have record players in our radio station.
There's 2 right there. Yeah. Steve, I can't remember. You help me. When was the last time Michael brought in a Wavelength song that was that upbeat?
Yeah, I don't recall.
They're usually depressing.
No, the last couple have been fine.
Oh, because they've been about clubs.
Yeah.
But it's the poppiness, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, I've decided to hold back Football Violence Awareness Month till March. Because I thought the season kicks off in March.
What
That's
about
when
your
you get all
hooligan
the
mob?
good. Well, we can keep them to March. Next month, I think we might have a mix, or we might go back to songs about players. Because I've got 2 about Bobby Moore, and he died in February, so that would be a nice thing.
Yes.
And that song, Cardiff City Superstars, is also our tribute to the tragic tale of Emiliano Salam, which we're going to be talking about in BC Soccer Web Headlines. BC Soccer Web Headlines is brought to you in partnership with bcsoccerweb.com, your one-stop site for local, national and international news, stories, features and links. Make it part of your daily routine, morning, noon and night. bcsoccerweb.com. What's been catching your beautiful beard this week, Steve?
Just usually leftovers.
Sadly true. You should see him in the press box.
Before we get to that story you talked about right there, I just want to do a quick follow-up on a story we talked about a couple of weeks ago. PSG has been fined €100,000 by League One in a discrimination case. They basically were collecting personal data that showed racial and ethnic origins of individuals that they were recruiting into the academy. So they basically been fined $100,000. Their academy director Bertrand Rezo has also been fined $10,000. He's the former academy director, but the French prosecutors are still investigating, and it could still be like they could be brought to court, or essentially some of these people for this. So
that was with the African, Asian players.
The North Africans, the Africans in the main area, and all over. So getting back,
I think it probably happens quite regular though in football.
But in France, it's illegal, so and it came out with football leaks as well. So so that's where how.
So then they should just be calling.
Fair, though,
the hackers.
Well, no, I was going to say the fines are like a drop in the ocean.
But that's by the league.
I know, but
there'll be bigger fines by the French government.
I'm surprised they're not calling for solidarity around fighting hackers.
Yeah, they should be.
Like Man City.
So getting to that story you're talking about, Emiliano Sala basically was coming over from Nantes in France to Wales to join Cardiff City because they had purchased them for a record club fee of €25 million. He came in a small plane with just a pilot. Unfortunately, the plane was having troubles. It went down. The traffic controllers it basically went off the radar, and immediately they called the Coast Guard or whoever does this tracking. I guess it's the Navy or something like that. They would have called.
Well, probably.
Is there a Coast Guard there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So they basically called them. They tried to track him down. I think it was 1,000-kilometer square area, whatever. And so they weren't able to find it. I think they tried for like 2 to 3 days. They couldn't do it at night time sometimes because the wind would really, the English Channel is very strong winds there as well. So
it's a very cold thing.
And then after 3 days, they just called it off. The family was hoping
Thursday.
Yeah, the family was hoping they would keep continuing. They felt like they were going to be able to find them. They were fighters and stuff like that. At least the family member said the player is, but in that much cold, it's going to be very difficult to survive.
No way whatsoever. Absolutely tragic tale. And some of the stuff that's come out since, there was a
phone call to
his dad. That was heartbreaking. Then there was some text messages that had come out about how this whole thing had come about because folk were like, why is he on a small plane?
Yeah.
One of the players at Cardiff City, his dad had a contact that had a private plane because there was no direct flights from Cardiff to anywhere, really, because Cardiff, you really go through London. So to kind of speed it up, they did this. Stuff about, could he take bags on? And it's like he had to get back by a certain time because the pilot had to go somewhere else after he dropped him off in Cardiff. Just heartbreaking.
Yeah. Some other news, David Beckham. We all know he's trying to get that Miami team going, but he has bought a stake in Salford City.
Yeah.
And by him buying 10%, it makes the class of 92 majority owners. He joins the Neville brothers, Ryan Giggs, Nicky Butt, Paul Scholes. They own 60% together. A Singapore businessman, Peter Lim, owns 40%.
Yeah, they brought him in their first year.
Yeah. Well, yeah, back in, I think it was 2014.
Well, I mean, if anyone's watched Class of 92,
yeah,
there's 3 seasons on it, and
two
on Netflix.
First 2, yeah.
I mean, I like the first 2 best because they're in the lower leagues, and you're just seeing what they're doing.
Don't ruin the third one for me.
They win the FA Cup.
I'm going to ruin some of it because currently they're in the Nation League, which is 5th tier.
Yeah.
They've been promoted 3 times since 2014, I believe, and are a point off the top spot, which means an automatic promotion to League 2 if they get that.
I think
only if they finish first is automatic.
Yeah, if they get up. Yeah.
So one of the things I'll say about this, the only negative thing that stood out to me as I watched the documentary is, and I think it kind of gets overlooked because of who the owners are, who these 6 players are, or 5 players originally were. I don't really like how they came in and changed the club colors because they were orange, right? And they changed it to red.
There's been a few little things that they've changed
but,
that I haven't
But they didn't.
liked.
They haven't changed the song, the entrance song, which I think is a cover by the Pogues, if I'm not mistaken.
Dirty Old Town.
Yeah, Dirty Old Town. Yeah.
Robbo's favorite band. Yeah.
Dirty Old
That's
Town.
Robbo's favorite band, right?
Yeah.
The Pogues.
I love the Pogues too.
So I didn't really like that. Plus, I think Salford City fans should come together and fight for 50+1.
Okay.
Well, I like what they've done at the stadium.
Yes, they've helped a lot.
But it was a great looking stadium to me, but with their aspirations, you have to change it.
Yeah, and so people wondering where Salford City is. It's just around Manchester.
It's a suburb of Manchester.
If you haven't watched go to Netflix. If you're on Netflix, go to Netflix and watch it. It's worth. It's only like 4 episodes. They're like an hour each. It's worth it.
FIFA bans at Niger ref Ibrahim Chaibo for multiple bribes and to fix matches. He was once described by notorious Singaporean match fixer Wilson Raj Perumal as his favorite official.
Wow.
So if the match fixer saying is your favorite official, and he's also, by Chris Eaton, former FIFA investigative chief, has been deemed as the probably the most corrupt referee the game has ever seen.
Wow.
Apparently somebody tweeted out also during the week that another linesman or something was with a linesman, and the linesman saw him dump like a bag full of money, cash, in a bank to deposit, essentially.
Bank of AFTN.
Michael's mattress.
So he's there's been so many like references to games that like handballs were called, and there was nowhere close to being in the handball. So yeah, it's interesting to see.
Bring on the VAR.
We're talking about the Asian Cup earlier. One of the semifinals is set. It's UAE versus Qatar. As we talked about before, Qatar has issues with some of the countries in the Middle East. UAE is one of them. So what is the head of the Abu Dhabi Sports, which is the UAE thing, Prince Nahan bin Zayed has bought all the tickets to the match. Well, allegedly, yes, you're right. I don't think he's going to be listening to this podcast, though. Allegedly, he's bought all the tickets to the match to prevent Qatari fans from attending the match. Apparently, today there was a lineup of where non-Qatari fans were given free tickets. If you're a woman, you didn't have to stand in line. You get to go straight through and get your tickets. FIFA could impose sanctions as they require a number of seats to be set aside for supporters of both teams.
A UAE prince is coming for all that money in your mattress.
Your bank. FA Cup upset.
What a Saturday was great. Sunday was crap.
Yeah, you were talking about Wimbledon before. Yes. This was Millwall Everton.
Wait. Sunday? There was I saw the mighty Crystal Palace.
Oh, well, yeah, I guess. But they're both Premier teams. It's not like a massive upset.
So Millwall upset Everton 3-2. What is interesting about this one is obviously the interesting part. It was a big upset.
It was the last-second goal as well.
Yes, but the tying goal, the goal came off a Millwall defender's arm, wasn't seen by the ref or assistant. Players for Everton asked for VAR. Problem is, this was one of the games that VAR wasn't present. It was only a few games again. We talked about it weeks before it wasn't. It's the same thing here. So, it didn't happen. So Everton out, Millwall, and they brawled before the game as well.
That's not a surprise.
Wait, who brawled?
Millwall and Everton supporters.
Millwall fans fighting.
Yeah, shocking that, isn't it?
There's a bit of trouble as well at Shrewsbury Wolves. That was another cracking game. Shrewsbury 2 goals up. Wolves took it to replay again with a stoppage time goal.
My English accent, that Michael told me to do it that way.
God blimey, governor.
But we have some people who are, part of the community around the show that'll be really sad about that Crystal Palace match. Slamo is big into Spurs. Chris Harrop's big into Spurs. Chris Corrigan, I believe, is big into Spurs.
I hate Spurs.
Mark Weber.
Yeah.
The Weebs.
As long as they're unhappy, I hate Spurs.
Okay, so next story. We talked about the Royal Rumble before earlier in the show. Sorry, I should say. It kind of is earlier in the day. It's been a long time since we started. There was a game today yesterday actually, where wrestling and soccer came together in the championship. Sheffield United was playing Norwich. Billy Sharp scored 2 goals. After one of them, he's pulled out a sock with a face on it.
Oh, yeah.
And put it in his hand. Basically, he put it inserting it into a teammate's hand, kind of giving a tribute to hardcore legend Mick Foley, Mr. Socko. And then Mick Foley saw it, tweeted back to him. He goes, "Thank you, Billy Sharp 10, at Billy Sharp 10, for single-handedly getting this broken down dude trending. You just passed those near Cosmos greats of my youth, Beckenbauer, Chard, and even Pele, as my favorite football ever."
I love Billy Sharp, and he is a guy I would bring over here as a striker. He is getting on a bit now.
Yeah.
How old is he?
I'll check that.
Is he better than Hooper?
Way better. He scored goals everywhere that he's been.
What about Kenny Miller?
In his prime?
In his prime, Kenny Miller was better.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Also not the same Billy Sharp that had a circus.
Okay. I'm assuming so. Some news from North America, expansion news for MLS. Sacramento Republic added Ron Burkle as lead investor. This guy is a billionaire with a hedge fund. He is also part owner of the Pittsburgh Penguins, so this might help because they do have
Billy Sharp is 32.
Oh, there you go. So this might help a little bit with Sacramento because they're getting a kind of a big money man involved.
He's a Reese's age.
Yeah.
Does that not feel like a last ditch kind of like?
Well, it's probably just maybe they've been seeking out somebody as a lead investor for a while, and this will help. Maybe MLS told them, you guys need somebody a little bit with more deeper pockets in order to start this.
Speaking of deep pockets,
Carolina Panthers owner, which is an NFL team, is in ongoing discussions with MLS for Charlotte expansion. David Tepper, who has $11 billion in value, he said he's still highly interested in MLS and said a team belongs in Charlotte.
Michael, you should see if he wants to put any of that money in the AFTN.
I was just thinking that. I would rather a team went to Carolina.
Oh, really?
Just because I've been there. That's nice.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
You haven't been to Sacramento?
No, we're talking about Charlotte.
Yeah, we were talking about Sacramento.
We've moved on.
Yeah, Sacramento earlier.
Oh.
He's saying he prefers Charlotte as well.
I prefer Carolina to Charlotte.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, okay.
With Charlotte's in Carolina.
Yeah.
I prefer Sacramento to both.
Charlotte from Ash, though. She was a good guitarist.
Okay. Oh, we're going back to music. Gotcha. Some MLS transactions that you didn't discuss. Rapids, you talked about Diego Fagundes. Rapids turned down a $3 million offer for Kellen Acosta from an English championship club. The club wasn't mentioned.
Do we know how he felt about that?
I don't know. No, there wasn't anything like that. Agent for Kaku, who is a New York Red Bulls player and was famously, Robbo said, "Do you want to play for me?" He said, "Yes." He goes, "No, I can't afford you."
$6 million.
Yeah, $6 million.
Transfer fee.
Wants to join Club America.
Because Robbo's going to Club America?
Yeah, maybe. But he wants to join Club America and feels that the Red Bulls are putting too much a high price tag on him and not letting him get there. Another story we talked about earlier, David Ousted signs officially with Chicago Fire.
Good for David.
Yeah, he's now in the same team as Basti.
Last one is you mentioned the Nicholas Hagelin deal. They got the first allocation spot in that deal. They are in talks with Terrence Boyd, who is a U.S. national team player.
Who I've never heard of.
He played mostly in Germany. He's played most of his
Terrence
career.
Boyd?
No.
Oh.
I don't follow the Germans.
He's American.
Or the Americans.
Some news in Canada. Kevin Gilmore is taking over for Joey Saputo as president of the Montreal Impact.
Yeah, Joey Saputo had sent out a press release saying there was going to be a big announcement the next day, and I thought, there's a new cheese coming out. Are they getting Orkney cheddar over or something? I'm quite disappointed by this.
Well, he's been president since '93.
So I guess there is a new big cheese.
Yeah, I guess so. Gilmore has had, speaking of cheese, he's been executive roles with Canadians, LA Kings, and Disney Corporation. So Mickey Mouse.
Cheese? Oh.
I mean, this is significant for the Impact, but it's all gonna like most things with Montreal. It's all gonna hinge on like what Joey's role will actually be, because they've had all kinds of different people in different roles there with different levels of control.
Well, he had a quote about this today. With our league growing by leaps and bounds, a new expansion, exciting new stadiums, and unparalleled growth, we clearly need to strengthen our organization, review and refine its current structure, increase our level of professionalism, which I find funny, and efficiency, and above all, be ready for major transformations that are rapidly sweeping our sport.
Yeah.
So the professionalism is funny because maybe now we won't see Saputo running onto the pitch anymore.
But this is a big thing.
Oh,
the
it is.
He's
massive.
That he's saying so publicly that he's going to kind of not be in control the way he wasn't before, and he's giving it to a bit of an outsider to the organization. It's not someone he's related to or anything like that. And honestly, this is something that I know people within the Whitecaps feel like Vancouver needs to do. They need... Michael's getting ready to... Are you really cold or he's getting ready to leave?
Oh, we're nearly finished.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
This is something I think Vancouver could use, kind of a visionary leader at the top.
Yeah. Somebody who is close to the top of women's soccer, Christine Sinclair, scored her 178th goal in Canada's 1-0 win over Norway. She is 6 off Amy Wambach.
I know, hurry up.
Abby Wambach.
Amy Wambach. Abby.
I think you said Amy.
I didn't say Amy.
You did say Amy.
I should not say anything.
That was just a shot to Amy Wambach.
That could be next week's
I'll
intro.
cut this bit out and just have him going Amy.
Also, last one. Obviously, we talked about Christine Sinclair, younger, hopeful future star. Well, she's kind of already a
future star.
She's already kind of star right now. Canadian teenager Jordan Huitema has foregone college and will be joining, rumored to be joining, not official, PSG.
TSS Rovers player.
Yeah.
Good for her, Jordan. Wish her all the best.
She needs to.
Sky's the limit.
She needs to wait till May when she turns 18. So she obviously can't join officially yet. And obviously PSG already has Ashley Lawrence there, so that's a good thing that she has somebody there. And she has had training stints with PSG in the past.
Yeah, she played when they were over here for some friendly.
Yeah. But I think she's also traveled to Paris too to train with them.
So have I.
So it'll be
obviously
obviously different route than Brody took, because Brody went to Duke to play college. But I guess the thing is, if you make enough money initially, you could that'll pay for your college in the future. So you can always come back to it afterwards.
True. But that is it for this week's show. So, just before we go, let everyone know where they can find you online.
You can find me on Twitter at WhitecapsBeat.
For me, it's at Zachary AM, and I'm a part of the movement Curva Collective.
I'm Michael McCall. You can find me on Twitter at AFTN Canada, Instagram at AFTN Soccer, read all our stuff on aftn.ca. A lot of articles went up in the past week on Whitecaps and the CPL. We've added a lot of new members to the team. Give them a follow on Twitter as well. Next week we'll be back at 11 o'clock. Podcast will be out on Monday as always. Until then, thanks for listening. Take care and mon the Caps.
Going to your first match is an experience you never forget. The atmosphere of what's going on around the pitch looks beautiful, and you always look and go, wow, I'd love to play here one day. If you get the bug, it's going to stay with you for life.